Hey there, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative, and this is my first Christmas ornament idea that I'll be sharing with you for the 2016 holiday season. So this is a super easy, kid-friendly glitter ornament, and what you will need for this are some clear, either glass or plastic ornaments. I have always done this with glass ornaments in the past, but I found out this year that plastic does work. Then you'll need some glitter. I say you should use some extra fine or fine glitter that is opaque, and we'll tell you why in a minute. And then the key to this is some floor polish. Bona is a brand that I got here in the US. I got it at Target. I'm sure internationally there is probably another brand, but it shouldn't be too hard to find, I wouldn't think. It's sort of common in grocery stores and hardware stores here. You'll also need some disposable cups, and a funnel comes in handy as well. So what we're going to do is pour the floor polish into the inside of the ornament. Now I'm kind of messy, so I get this, of course, all over the outside of the ornament as well. And if that happens to you, you do want to wipe that off right away. The floor polish will dry clear, but it will dry kind of bumpy, and more importantly, it is very sticky. So anything like dust or anything will stick to it, and then the glitter that we're going to use in the second step will also stick to it if it's on the outside, and once that happens, it's difficult to remove. So it's better to wipe off any floor polish on the outside before you start, with the glitter at least. Now what you want to do is sort of roll the ornament in a circle, gradually tilting it down towards the opening in the top to coat the entire inside of the ornament with the floor polish. It has a milky appearance to it, I guess, and so you can tell like where it is, and you want to do it slowly so that you don't get bubbles. Bubbles will get stuck in the glitter and can look kind of weird. It's not a terrible tragedy, but it's better to avoid bubbles if you can. And then you just drain out the excess into that little cup. You don't want to have like a puddle at the bottom when you flip it over. You know, a little bit of excess is okay, but you don't want like a big puddle, because that's going to mess up the glitter, which is part 2 here. So I'm taking my funnel. The funnel is basically the same size as the opening in this ornament. I'm using a 3-inch ornament. If I had a thinner funnel, I would just probably stick it into the neck of the ornament. Do not touch the sides of the ornament, but you can stick it into the neck if you want. And then just pour in. If you're using one color, you can pour in a fair amount of glitter, and always you can dump the excess out at the end and then just pour it back into the glitter if you're using one color. And one color is definitely like the easiest thing to do, and you just basically do exactly what we did with the floor polish. You're turning the ornament in a circle, slowly tipping it towards the top to coat the entire inside of the ornament with the glitter. The glitter does stick to the floor polish, and that's how you get this sort of glittery, beautiful effect on the inside of this clear ornament. If you want to do 2 colors or 3 colors, like for a stripy effect, you will have to be careful with the amount of glitter that you use for each color, because you need to get if for the first color, you would need to have all of that color stuck to the inside of the ornament before you add in the second color, or they're going to just mix together and make a mess. There's no way to pour the glitter out like once you've got it in there without it sticking to the inside. So just something to bear in mind if you wanted to do something like stripes, for example. It is possible. It just requires a little more thought. Now you do need to let this ornament dry for about 24 hours before you put the top back in. The little prongs on the top can scrape the glitter away on the inside if the floor polish hasn't set. So that's why you need to set it aside for like 24 hours before you put the tops on. But you can decorate it anytime before that if you're just doing the outside. Now those little light bulb ornaments were some inexpensive plastic ornaments that I purchased, and this is also a larger plastic ornament that I decorated using some paint pen and some adhesive gems and some other things that I'll talk about in a minute. So those are great options for your kids if you want to use plastic. Here is a small glass ornament that I used, and I used a chunky glitter, and it had micro beads in it. And it looks okay, but it was really kind of uneven, and then some of the chunky glitter didn't stick well to the inside. So if you want it to look fairly like smooth and even, avoid chunky glitter. That's my advice. So ways to decorate the outsides, there are tons of manufacturers who make like sticker sheets of like, lines and little chains and borders and stuff. Those would be really fun. There's also adhesive ribbon and obviously adhesive gems available that you can use to decorate the outsides. And obviously there are paint pens that are designed to be used on metal or glass, and that's what these are. And those are great. You can make dots, make lines, make stripes, make zigzags, draw whatever you want on them with those pens, because they will stick. That will stick and stay and looks good. So I thought I'd show you a way that you could potentially decorate one of these if you wanted to decorate the outside. Now I got these adhesive ribbon strips and the adhesive gems all at Michael's, which is my local craft store, very inexpensively in the sort of make it yourself holiday ornament section, because while I'm filming this, it is a holiday. It's like October, so the Christmas stuff is up, and they have an entire section of like make it yourself stuff with all these little extra add-ons, and they were super, super inexpensive. So I think each one was like $1.50, and then they were 40% off, so super cheap. And the reason I do it for myself personally as an adult is because my husband and I live in a small condo, and we really don't have the storage space to store like hundreds of different colored ornaments from that I might not use every season, because I'm kind of nuts and I like to do different color schemes for like our tree and our mantle every year. And so maybe, we have a lot of like sort of the classic colored ornaments and stuff, but maybe one year I want to do like fuchsia and silver as like the theme. Well, I don't want to go out and spend, $50 to $100 buying fuchsia ornaments that I'm then going to have to donate to Goodwill at the end of the season because I can't store them. So this is a really great budgety alternative for me to make like fuchsia glitter ornaments, say, relatively inexpensively. Like I could probably make 24 of these ornaments for, definitely under $20, possibly under $10, depending on like the sale. So it's a really, really budget-friendly, easy way to sort of mix up my color schemes. And then if I want to give them away at the end of the year to Goodwill, I don't have to feel too bad about it because we just can't store them. So there's a couple examples of ways you could decorate them. And then I also think, it's great for kids. There's a two-tone one because maybe kids like kooky colors that you wouldn't normally decorate with, or maybe they have little trees for their own rooms. This is a great way for them to make ornaments that they have decided the colors and they've picked and been able to make relatively easy and quickly. Now here's one that did not work so well. This is a transparent ornament. Well, it's transparent glitter. And so because of that, you can see right through it. And here's white glitter, same problem. You can see right through it, and you can see how uneven the coating of glitter is on the inside. And that's just part of the nature of the project. It's not going to be an even coat. So you want to avoid glitters where you can see that. So don't use transparent, don't use colors that are too light. And then that chunky glitter there, I would say, is also one to be avoided just because it looks so kind of weird in the end. Now, another thing I thought you could use this project for would be for other holidays, like Mardi Gras ornaments, or maybe you have like a little Valentine's tree or a little Easter tree. I know sometimes people do that. And this is a great way to make some different colored ornaments for those holidays. Maybe you want to have, say, like a bowl of ornaments as some decoration in like a guest bedroom or something, or the bathroom, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. This is a really great way to make your own ornaments relatively inexpensively to decorate those areas that you might not want to spend a lot of money on. And of course, it's always great for kids, as I've mentioned time and time again. So thank you so much for watching. I hope if you have not tried the floor polish glitter ornaments in the past, please do so. It's super fun. And if you have already, maybe I've given you some thoughts about new ways you could use them. You can find a complete supply list for this project linked below in the video description and on my blog. I'd be thrilled if you'd subscribe. Happy holidays!